Servus! Navigates. Oh my God, are you alive? Is everybody alive with the best? The best part of Pioneers is going to happen right now. You don't know what we're in for. We're in for some fantastic, fantastic fun. How are you enjoying Pioneers so far? That was just that side of this incredible building. You know, in 1650, when this building was really getting going, they made more noise. Are you having fun this year at Pioneers? Krass! That is krass. Okay, so what I'm very pleased is, I want to know how many of you here in the audience are Ovitsara? There's never at Pioneers no Ovitsara, because everyone wants to do things to make it work. And right now, as we come back, we're right in the beginning and the end and the middle of the Pioneers Challenge. My name is Ralph Simon, and I love Pioneers. And this is one of the most important things at Pioneers, because we have the Pioneers Challenge that is powered by PwC. So PwC, this important global organization. How many of you heard what happened with PwC at the Hollywood Oscars? Well, it's not going to happen here, because we spoke to PwC and we make sure that we've got all the correct votes, and the judges will have the correct votes to make sure that the winners are going to be chosen correctly, or the one winner. And just to give you an idea, this Pioneers Challenge, this is the 6th time of the Pioneers Challenge. We've seen some great winners in the past. Some have made it to Y Combinator. And just to give you an idea of just how important it is to win this competition, we have 4,000 applications from early stage startups that are less than 3 years old and that have raised less than 3 million euros. So 4,000, think about it, 4,000 different teams, companies, people. 500 of the 4,000 are chosen to attend here at Pioneers. 50 are chosen to pitch on day one. And out of those 50, we choose only 8. So think about it, from 4,000 to 8. And each of those 8 will be pitching and presenting here today. And just to give you an idea, what will the winner of the Pioneer of the Year, because the winning team, the winning company, will be the Pioneer of the Year. Very, very important honor and a great prize. And what would they win? Well, what they will win is something that money cannot buy. So important. And what they will win is this. We will be sending the winning startup on a special trip to Silicon Valley in September to have private mentoring with some famous Pioneers legends and Silicon Valley legends. Just to give you an idea, one will be the famous venture capitalist Tim Draper, who actually invented viral marketing and was one of the great early believers in Bitcoin. He spoke here last year. Tim Draper, he knows his name, Tim Draper. Then, secondly, we will be arranging a special session and time in Silicon Valley with Nancy Duarte. Nancy spoke here last year. Nancy is a best-selling author. She was the woman that did the slideshows for Steve Jobs in the early days of Apple's rise and rise and rise. And Nancy was also the person that put together the slideshow for Al Gore when he did An Inconvenient Truth, that then led that to become not only the biggest selling video of all time, but got Al Gore the Nobel Peace Prize for Environment. And Nancy Duarte has written some incredible books. One, Slideology. I don't know how many of you have known that book. Or Illuminate, very famous book. But Nancy is a great guide and will help our winning team in Silicon Valley on this visit. And then, in addition, we'll have a special time and session for the startup winner with Michael Siebel, who is the CEO of Y Combinator. Michael was one of the advisors in the very early days of Airbnb, when Airbnb was nothing. And also one of the early advisors to Tinder, when Tinder was nothing. How many of you here have used Tinder to find a date? None of you? Oh, there's that one guy. But there's no girl sitting next to him, so he wasn't successful. How many of you used Tinder? Put your hand up. 2 guys, that's ridiculous. Mein Gott. How's that possible? Oida. Oida. Oida, no way. Okay, so what we'd like to do is we've got a special video live from Silicon Valley. Can we get Tim Draper to just give us some words of wisdom? Here is one of the key people that our winner will meet in Silicon Valley. So let's bring in Tim Draper all the way from California.
Hi, I'm Tim Draper. I really enjoyed being a part of the Pioneer event last year. I really love being on stage and having all that energy and excitement, and I'm sure you will too. Welcome to the Pioneer Challenge. I'm looking forward to meeting whoever it is that wins the big Pioneer Challenge and having them come on out here to San Francisco and meet with me. This is going to be great. Let the show begin.
Thank you, Tim. Bist deppert. My Austrian is not very good. Bist deppert. I thought I'd pronounced it correctly, but not. Maybe. Okay, but that's not all. In addition to those 3 key people in Silicon Valley, in addition, the winners will also receive a big feature on CNBC.com, very important cable TV network, as part of a new CNBC series called The Brave Ones. And The Brave Ones really looks at following the rise of some of the world's most successful entrepreneurs. So of these 8 finalists, that could be you. That could be you. So we want you here in the audience. It's very important when you see each of the 8 people present their companies. If you really love what they do, you've got to really give a big support to them, because that makes them feel good, and also it gets a good vibe going here in the building, so that we can really say, Max gut, everybody. That's what we want to see. That's what we want to hear. Okay, so all of this powered by PwC, our platinum sponsor. Thank you again, PwC. It's very good that you're involved. We like to know that PwC loves pioneers, because pioneers likes to work with PwC. So now I'd like to introduce you to our six judges. Our judges are very important. Our judges will be coming out shortly, and we'll just give you their names as they get ready to come out. Are we ready to have our judges? Yes? No? Yes? By the way, what do you think of this? Do you like my uniform? Very good. Great. So our judges, we have Andrew Chen from Uber. Where's Andrew? Andrew, lift up your arm. Andrew Chen. Then we have Reshma Sohoni. Reshma. There she is, beautiful Reshma. Oh. Then we have Ryan Bethencourt. Where's Ryan? Ryan, great speaker. Good job earlier today, Ryan. Great thinker. And of course, Ryan's the head of life sciences and at the X Prize Foundation, a great guy. And Reshma, of course, was at MIT, INSEAD. You did really great, Reshma. And so we want you to really judge well. Then we have Ela Madej. Where's Ela? Ella's famous, oh, there you are, Ella. Good, welcome. Give her a big hand. Give the 2 girls a big hand. Ladies. Ella is a social tech entrepreneur. She went through Y Combinator, and she was the founder of Impact.tech that combines purpose with profit. Then we'd like to bring on Dr. Jack Kreindler, the famous Dr. Jack, all the way from London, but also one of the smartest people in exponential health. He is not only a doctor, he is a docrapreneur. a doctorpreneur, a doctor and entrepreneur, a physician, a physiologist, and a great guy. If ever you want to go drinking with someone that's great, that can drink you under the table, this is the doctor to do it with. And finally, and by very no means least, all the way from Vienna, one of the great venture capitalists and funders of new companies, discoverers of new companies, Oliver Holler from Speed Invest. Oliver, welcome. Who have we left off? Andrew Chen. Where is Andrew Chen? Andrew, there you are. Ladies and gentlemen, from Uber and San Francisco, the Bay Area, Andrew Chen. Andrew, welcome. Andrew, it's so great to have you here because, ladies and gentlemen, just to give you an idea, Andrew was someone that advised Dropbox. When Dropbox wasn't even really going, Andrew was there advising them, and also advised Tinder when Tinder was just really starting, and also was very involved with Angel List. So if you know about Silicon Valley successes from startups, he knows his stuff, he knows what's going on. So I must just explain to you, one of the reasons that I'm wearing this beautiful Gucci top, as you can see, is that this is, of course, this is my special uniform because I'm the referee today for the judges, and we'll explain to you how this will all work. We're ready for the 8 startups, and the pitches will begin when I blow the whistle. And this is the way that it's going to work. Each company that is in the final 8 will begin with a whistle. They'll have 3 minutes, and if they go over time, they'll get this yellow card. And the judges must behave too, but after they've done their 3 minutes, the judges will have 3 minutes to ask the startup questions. But if the questions are too difficult for the team, the referee, myself, and one of my great colleagues, I'll introduce you to in a minute, will let the judges know. But you'll also find rating cards with a scale of 1 to 5 to show us during the pitch. Have you got those cards? Can we see the cards? People got the cards? Oh, there, the judges got the cards. Okay, very good. If you could just hold them up so people at the back can see. See the cards from 1 to 5. So these judges have got a big responsibility and a big job. But the judges, you'll do that, and maybe you'll show that. And then at the end, we'll decide amongst yourselves. You'll be going off to go into a special secret room that's been sealed from the public. And the only thing that is in that room is 20,000 bottles of Stiebel, so that they can make sure they make a good decision. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to introduce the startup with the name of the founder, the name of the company, and the line of what the company does. And then we're going to hand them over to Daniel. Where is Daniel? Daniel is my good friend, and Daniel is going to be working with me as the co-referee, working on this. Where is Daniel? Daniel, you getting ready? Can we see you backstage, Daniel? Daniel, you're the startup coach. Daniel, you look great. Okay, hold on a minute before you go. Daniel, we are ready now for our first company of our 8. So you are the startup coach. I'd like to hand over to you exactly what this is. So if you want to say anything to your the first participant, and the first participant, tell us who that is, Daniel.
The first participant here.
Speaking to your mic?
Yes.
Okay.
This should be on. Now it's on. Now my first participant here is Sabi, and I have one simple advice. Number 1 is I'll give you this microphone. Hold on to it. Much. Speak into it. And other than that, let's move out onto stage. And my simple advice to you is...
What is the company name,
amazing.
Daniel?
The company name is Turbine.
And what did Turbine do?
And Turbine does, or basically does, a therapy design with AI and
Indeed.
cell simulations, right?
It goes straight from the lab.
Okay, good.
So,
yes, before we get started, just take a look around. Those are your slides. Do you see them? You have the time on the top left. If you feel like looking to the right, that's them.
Yep.
That's your jury. You need to impress them, and you need to look out for our very own Ralph. So,
Can I get a clicker?
a clicker? Yes, we'll also have
clicker is on the
there.
table.
Clicker's over there. Good that you're asking. So
Very
here's your
exciting
clicker.
this. The first one,
Good
very
now.
exciting of 8.
So, make yourself comfortable. Let's ask again. You have a microphone, you have your clicker, you see the time, slides. Ralph?
Okay, so are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Zabi, Naj,
Yep.
ready? On your marks, get set.
Thank you. So, time. We all have little enough, especially those whose lives have been touched by cancer. This is why we at Turbine are developing a technology that will radically cut the time it takes to develop new and effective cancer drugs. This Petri dish holds cancer cells. Thousands and thousands of similar Petri dishes are used by pharma companies around the world to test how their drugs would impact certain types of cancer. The problem with this technology is that it's simply too slow. It takes about 4 years to get one drug from idea to human trials. And the reason for that mostly is that biology is simply slow and it's costly. So the question we asked ourselves back when we were still in the lab was, is there a way we can speed this up? Is there a way we can take complex biological experiments from the lab into the computer to make them scalable and thousands of times faster? I'm happy to say that after 7 years of research, this is exactly what we did. We have developed a technology that is 10,000 times faster than biological experiments and still provides the same output and the same readouts to researchers. With this, pharma companies can find the drugs that are likely to work way before they have to run costly and slow biological experiments, and they can ditch the drug candidates that are less likely to work and will probably fail in trials, saving them hundreds of millions of euros each year. Today, we command about 100,000 euros per 4 weeks of simulated experiments, and even more importantly, though we've only launched less than a year ago, already 2 of the biggest pharma companies are our clients, and we're setting up research projects and collaborations with some of the top research institutions on the planet. So, the team itself has experience launching, growing, and running software companies, and also biotech ones. But more importantly, we also have held research positions at some of the top cancer research institutions in Europe. But most importantly, really, we are very driven because we know that with this technology, we have a real shot at upending the way pharma companies do how they do their work today, at changing decades-old processes, but most importantly, we have a real shot at getting better drugs to cancer patients faster and saving lives. Thank you.
That was very good. They liked what you said. Now let's go to the judges, because this is when the pitch being done. We've got 3 minutes of Q&A with the judges. So judges, are you ready? The 3 minutes starts.
Okay, so just wanted to compliment you. Great pitch. Ryan Bethencourt from IndieBio. So quick question, how does the simulated cell work, right? What is unique about this?
That's a very good question. So we've built the largest and most accurate model of human cells, of protein and protein interactions in a human cell. And we've created a technology, a simulator and an AI combination, that when we fuse this model cell with data about specific tumors, so genomic and other data types, basically can bring this alive and simulate the exact biological processes that are going on in this cell, just like in the lab.
Great pitch. So, you know, we've got other efforts like Benevolent and CellWorks are doing stuff like this in California. Well, the question I've got to you is this. Ultimately, stuff doesn't get into doctors' hands until it's gone through safety, etc. And, you know, we'll be able to accelerate the production of drugs or candidates, but how are you going about accelerating the adoption of these new drugs as, you know, breaking the communication barrier? You know, it still takes about 17 years for a drug to go from really cool and approved to everyone using it.
Very good question. So what we focus on today is first research and then the development of drugs. What we have seen and what we've discussed with our pharma clients is basically that what they do today in the lab often translates into, let's say, less effective drugs in human trials, which end up failing with a relatively high likelihood. So what we are doing is getting them better drugs early on, which then perform better in trials. And if they perform better in trials, they actually show clearer clinical benefits, which then convince regulatory agencies to accept them faster. So we shrink the whole process by potentially years. And just to add to that, obviously, this is the first step we have and we have taken. What we are actually working on is moving towards being more predictive, not just in lab models, but also in humans. But that's obviously a bit down the line because it takes years of research, but that's sort of the goal.
The 100K, was that a price point?
Mm-hmm.
How did you arrive at your pricing, and what are your customers comparing what they're going to spend with you to?
Yep, very good question also. What we did basically was look at the cost it takes for them, or the cost they basically pour into different drug projects, and compared ourselves to the lab models and the lab experiments they run today, and sort of went for something that is less than the cost of these lab experiments, because obviously we are before lab experiments at this point, but is easily payable for them.
So you mentioned you had 2 pilots. How did you define success for those pilots? Like, what are you measuring?
We actually have 4 pilots now, 2 big clients. The point is that obviously at this point we've done 4 validation studies. We've showed that we are predictive across a variety of cancer types. Just quick finish. But obviously pharma companies want to see us work, live and benefit their drug projects. So this is what we're doing with these pharma companies now. After we close these pilots, we'll have shown that the technology works, and then we can spread inside the organization, work with more drug projects, work with other pharma companies. That's the strategy now. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause. Sabi Naj. Well done. Thank you very much. We'll just put those on the table. Sabi Naj from Turbine. Okay. Are we ready for our number 2? And let us find out what our number 2 is and who the number 2 does. You might, if you want to show, the judges want to show what you feel you got for this one, you could hold it up so that people might get a view. We don't want them to calculate exactly what the number is because that's going to happen in the judges' room. But can we bring on our next competitor? And our next competitor, let's ask our startup coach to tell us who this is.
So, we're here with competitor number 2, and it's Gustav Skans from Denmark. And what he does is a real-time bacteria sensor. So, I'll give you the microphone.
Thank you.
I shall give you the clicker. There you go. The green button is for happiness. Now, I'll walk you up to Ralph, and he's going to be very kind to you. First of all, can't you greet him? Say hello to him. Marvelous. So, Ralph. He's in your good hands now.
So this is Gustav Skans.
That's Gustav.
And Gustav, your company is called SBT.
That is correct.
And you from where?
Denmark.
From Denmark.
Yeah.
Incredible. Woo! From Denmark. Very, very good. And real-time bacteria measurements on surfaces. Your startup coach has given you some good vibe, good feel. You feeling comfortable?
Sort of, yeah.
Your knees
I'm comfortable. Yeah.
Your knees are not shaking. I don't see any perspiration on your brow, which is a good sign. So, ladies and gentlemen, number 2, Gustav Skans from SBT. If you're ready, when the whistle goes, your 3 minutes will begin. And...
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Gustav, and I would like to present our company, Smart Biotechnology, as well as our innovative real-time bacteria sensor for the food industry. There have been countless of examples in media where food has been recalled because it is unsafe to eat. And many of these examples can be related to poor hygiene in the production. In fact, last year, there were 228 bacteria-related food recalls in Europe alone, and the average cost for the food producer when they issue such a recall is a staggering 9 million euros. The core of the problem is found if we examine how a food production is operated today. A food producer, like a slaughterhouse, will run its production and then they will perform a lot of cleaning. After they're done cleaning, they need to test if the cleaning has been good or not. They do this by collecting bacteria samples from selected surfaces in the production using a cotton tip. The cotton tip with the bacteria is then shipped off to a laboratory. The laboratory analysis process is fundamentally very slow, and it takes 3 days for them to get the result. And of course, they'll never wait 3 days before starting up the next batch of production. So when they get a bad test result, they're put in a situation where they might have to discard an entire batch of production, or maybe even issue an expensive recall. We have created a solution that will revolutionize bacteria measurements. Our tech is operated in a similar workflow. They still use the cotton tip for collecting bacteria, but instead of sending it to a lab, they can simply insert the cotton tip into our device on site, press go, and know exactly how much bacteria was on this clean surface after just 5 minutes. Our much faster analysis time enables the food producers to react instantly to bad test results so they can perform corrective measures like extra cleaning before starting up the next production batch. This ensures, in essence, the hygiene in the production. We reduce the risk of having to discard product, and food recalls will be a much lesser concern to the food producers. Our end users need to use the cotton tip every time they perform a bacteria measurement, so we will make our money from a one-time sale of the sensor, as well as having recurring revenue from selling these cotton tips through a network of regional distributors. Our response time is quicker, but our method is also actually cheaper to use than conventional laboratories because we completely omit the need for trained lab personnel. We have a unique product, and we're operating in a €1 billion market, and the market is growing. The market is growing because of a recently introduced FDA Act that says food producers must perform hygiene and cleaning validation, which is actually something that has been voluntary in the past. And even though it's US legislation, the food producers of Europe and Asia will follow the same trend for export reasons. I believe that we have the founding team that can make this company a great success. We founded the company way back in 2014. We've been full-time ever since. We filed our first patent in 2016, and we're on track with our field studies to perform product launch in the spring of 2018. That was annoying. So we fully expect that our bacteria sensor will completely change the market when we launch. And right now, we're looking for corporate partnerships for research in other applications, as well as investors. So come and find me after this show if you're interested to learn more about this opportunity. Thank you.
Okay, judges, you've got 3 minutes to pose this question to Gustav Scans from SBT. Off you go.
Nice pitch, nice product, but honestly speaking, isn't this a tiny market at the end of the day? Like 220 cases times 9 million, that's 2 billion in Europe overall, like the whole damage, and you will take only a tiny fraction of that market share. I'm not sure that's a VC case.
Of course, we are expecting to take more than a tiny fraction because the benefit that we offer are so great. But in truth, we're starting out in the hygiene and cleaning validation because it is non-regulated. There are no regulation that says you have to use a specific method for measuring bacteria in hygiene and cleaning validation. The market we really want to go to is measuring bacteria on food products because that's a €20 billion market. But it's heavily regulated, and it's very important for us as a startup to gain some traction and gain some revenue. And we've chosen to do that in this market and then use that as a stepping stone to move the product into other markets later on.
Great. And so which bacteria strains are you testing for? Like, do you have a closed set? And my second part of the question is, like, how accurate is technology, and how do you know?
Yeah, we can prove a linear correlation with growth methods that are used today. With this technology right now, we are testing for all bacteria, so we measure what is essentially the total count of bacteria. We can see in the lab that we can also do differentiation between different types of bacteria, like gram-positive, gram-negative, rod-shaped, spherical, but that's something that we save for later products.
What if we find out that bacteria is good for you?
Good question. There are many bacteria that are good for you. When you look at hygiene and cleaning validation, what they test for today is the total count of bacteria, because that's a number that says how well have you actually cleaned your production. So you don't have that question in that sense for that application at least. If you look at other applications, yeah, sure, if you measure bacteria in milk, you will find a lot of good bacteria. And there you will need more differentiation than what we're doing today.
All right, so I just want to say great pitch. I've seen actually several companies in this space, global companies. One question I had was, how do you differentiate the bacteria that you actually see? So it sounds like it's like visual or staining or something that you're doing with this process.
Yeah.
So can you tell someone they have salmonella in the system, or is that too accurate?
That's too accurate. The way we measure the bacteria, I just want to touch briefly upon that, is that we use a technology called impedance flow cytometry. So we measure the bacteria from an electrical point of view. We model the electrical properties of the bacteria and detect them like that. And we actually don't know of anyone else who does that. Everyone is based on optics, which are very expensive, or staining methods, which are cumbersome.
Electrical is clever, but I guess you'd have to look for the specific signatures for things like salmonella, right? So I'm guessing you haven't validated that yet.
No, we can't detect a specific strain like salmonella.
Okay, but that's going to be a little bit of a problem because then you can say you have bacteria, but you don't know whether it's bad bacteria or just...
Yeah, actually a good case. More than 50% of all food illnesses in the US are caused by bacteria which are not one of the 4 pathogenic bacteria that you look for.
Interesting.
So you have a lot of bacteria which you really don't know which are, and they want to find those as well.
Okay, interesting.
Thank you. Well done.
Thank you very much, Gustav.
Da ist geil. Da ist geil, no? Daniel.
Ralph, so, probably was guy, I don't know, but we have contestant number 3 next to me.
Number 3.
Number 3.
And who is this?
And this is our actual local hero, and his name is Florian Hirschbichler. He's from a company called Foresight, and what they do is energy forecasting and insights. So, I give you the microphone. Wait, I give you the clicker. This is an amazing audience, and let's go over to Ralph. So, Ralph, I bring you the local hero. Give him some applause, please.
Daniel, just before Florian begins,
yes,
he's the local hero. Where do you come from, Florian?
Salzburg, actually.
Salzburg!
Here.
Salzburg! Anyone here from Salzburg?
So,
okay.
He's really anxious to get going. So, my friend, you see your slides. They're yours. You can see the time. Ralph, I give them in your hands.
Very good. Foresight is the name of your company. Your 3 minutes is about to begin when you hear the whistle. Good luck. All the best. Florian.
Hi, my name is Flo from Foresight, and we are in the business of predicting things. Actually, let's talk about one thing which is relatively easy to predict, and that's what CO2 emissions are doing in our atmosphere and our oceans. So, dear Mr. Trump, if you're watching, please think about it again, and if you need help, you get our product for free for 3 months. But let's talk about something that's more difficult to predict, and that's actually what's happening in the energy sector right now. Because of a lot of PV systems are coming into the systems, of batteries coming into the cars, batteries in the households, batteries everywhere, it's very difficult for the traditional utilities. On the other hand, there's a massive competition going on in this market. So basically, complexity up, margins down, very tough. So the only good thing about this is there's a lot of data coming into the system at the same time. And this is basically where we are coming in. Foresight is a software as a service B2B system offering the solutions to exactly the problems we have just described using machine learning technology and big data. So our machine learning product called Predict can make very precise forecasts for every single household in the world. Let's have a look at one example. We take a traditional company, a traditional utility. They're working with 3 people, maybe with 1 or 2 statistical models. At the same time, we are working not, because the algorithms does, and we are working with more than 30 models. If they're doing a good job, the error of the system will be around 1.94. So actually not too bad. We are delivering 1.55. Doesn't sound much, but what it means is actual cost reduction of 3 million euros every year. So the second product, as we know a lot about the customers, we can also tell the utility what to offer to them. You know, you should sell a specific PV system, you should sell a specific air conditioning system to specifically those customers. We're talking about a market only for the Predict side, which has a size of around 40 billion euro annually. We are a team of energy experts, data scientists, and software engineers. We are 18 people right now, and in total we have experience of around 270 years. We were launched 2.5 years ago. We have more than 10 pilot customers in more than 10 countries, first paying customers, and more than 40 million end customers. We are raising right now 7 million euros to boost sales and marketing efforts. Thanks.
Thank you, Florian. And judges, it's now over to you for some questions. So the 3 minutes of questions start now.
All right. Okay, so I was going to ask about the $40 billion market number, right? Which I understand that maybe you could create that amount of value, but it seems like the real market that you're going for is software products for utility companies. And what's the size of that market?
I'm actually, this market, what I just showed there, is just if you take the grid balancing energy, so all the penalties, the companies, the utility companies have to pay around the world, and then you take a 1% from this penalty, this is what you arrive at. So it's actually the penalty payments, and you take a share of the penalty payments. That's what's happening every year in this sector. We didn't include any cross or upselling potential in this number.
What's the current spend per year right now that utility companies are putting against software?
Putting against software, it's difficult to say because we are talking about SaaS software right now, which is quite new to the industry.
Yeah.
And
feel free to also include enterprise software.
I'm not sure about this number.
So, because I would think that is sort of how I would think about what the market size is.
Okay. But based on our business model, we are basing our business model on a revenue share. So we're not competing against traditional software or traditional forecasting providers. We're just saying, we are delivering a performance. And if the performance is right, we just share the costs you are just saving.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, great pitch. Great that there is a startup from Austria. Congratulations. So, is there anything worse than selling to a utility company? I mean, it's a nightmare, no? It takes forever. It's super conservative. How can you break that? Because otherwise, you will be in sales mode for the next 10 years before you become a big company.
Is there anything worse? I'm not sure. But you're absolutely right. The question is if our future customer will be the traditional utility as it is right now. We heard something from Innogy, for example, right now. They are in a traditional, they are moving as well. And therefore we think right now you might be right, but I'm sure the utilities, the ones which will survive, will also be easier customer in the future. Fingers crossed.
Can you talk a little bit about competition in that, you had the example, I guess twofold, which is if you're seeing an opportunity, I'm sure other startups are, so maybe from a startup side, and also kind of these drops in error seem iterative still, and I guess what's to stop a competitor from saying, another 10% sort of drop? Like, I guess what's core about your modeling that has USP or defensibility?
So regarding competition, it's basically there are two systems right now. There's one competition side, which is offering kind of generic solutions for this kind of area. It's not specialized in the energy sector. And on the other hand, then there are the providers which are providing very specified models for the energy sector, but it takes a very long time to set it up. So we are somewhere in between. We have 5 patent pendings, which are actually exactly in this area.
Thank you. Thank you, Florian. Florian Hirsch-Bichler from Salzburg. Thank you. Daniel.
So.
What number are we up to now, Daniel?
Right this way. Wait. Don't get overexcited, Sunshine.
He's very excited.
Yes.
Very urgent, very anxious.
This is number 4.
Number 4.
Bitwala, Ben Jones, so Ben. Microphone.
So,
Daniel. And what you do, I'll tell you what he does. It's quite interesting. What he does is, he's banking the crypto economy. Oh, yeah, that's his co-founder right over there. It is your co-founder. Is that your co-founder? Or is it your dad?
I kind of wish he were, actually.
So in that sense, he's on board. Get those people on board. Join me right that way. Come along, my friend. Applaud for him. So,
So you're Ben Jones.
Yes,
Your company is Bitwala.
that's correct.
Where are you from, Ben?
I'm from Bristol,
From Bristol in the UK?
along with 2 other people, yes.
Highly passionate people, apparently. Yes.
Okay, so this is the first time you've been in a Pioneers finals like this?
Yes.
Okay, well, we don't want to cause you any more tension. You've got 6 fantastic judges, all very knowledgeable. So, Ben, when you hear the whistle, you've got 3 minutes. And are you ready?
Hi, I'm Ben Jones, and I'm the CTO and co-founder of Bitwala. And we are banking the crypto economy. So crypto is exploding. The market cap has reached $60 billion. The blockchain technology is revolutionizing industry from logistics to healthcare. And since the start of 2017, $170 million has been invested in ICOs for new projects. But as someone who's been in this space for more than 5 years, let me tell you, it's not a lot of fun. Regulation is a mess. It's too much for your average startup to handle it in terms of manpower and costs. Accounting is awkward because you have crypto in your books, but you know what the worst thing is? No banking. Banks don't like you. I've heard stories of major exchanges having their banking pulled overnight. And at Bitwala, we said, the blockchain revolution, it's happening. And these are the guys who are going to make it happen. And they deserve better. And so we launched our first product, an international bank transfer. You can send money to over 150 countries worldwide, funded by Bitcoin, for 0.5% fee. Our crypto debit card lets you buy pizza for your employees or pay your AWS hosting fees. But that was just the start. We realized, in order to serve the needs of these brave pioneers who are going to revolutionize the world, we needed to go one step further. And that's why today, I'm proud to announce that Bitwala will release the world's first blockchain bank account. Mic drop. Think about what this means. For the first time ever, the crypto economy will be banked by a fully licensed, regulated bank based in Germany. Cheap international transfers, debit cards, payroll, and a suite of smart banking products and services designed for the crypto economy. In the 2 years since we started, we've been busy. We've become the market leader in Bitcoin to fiat services, transferring over 30 million euros. We grow 25% month on month, and last week we reached a milestone of transferring 1 million euros in 7 days. We started our journey in 2011. We've done a consultancy, an incubator, an e-commerce platform, a co-working space, and a startup. So when I say that we're banking the crypto economy, we are the crypto economy. We are our own customers. We're raising 2.5 million euros in our Series A, and we're looking for investors with not only money, but those who can help us get the banking connections that we need. We're Bitwala, and we are banking the crypto economy.
Bitwala, Ben Jones, well done. Now, judges, over to you for some penetrating questions. And your 3 minutes is starting now.
So I get you have a bit of leadership there. I'm trying to understand, again, in the back end, what's sort of pioneering in that. So, you know, we're investors in TransferWise, and a lot of the model you talk about, we're obviously used to the last sort of 5-6 years or so. And you know, they had to shut Bitcoin at some point because the banks aren't supportive of it, right? So, I mean, it's in their kind of back of their minds, and they clearly have a ton of smart people working in the back. I don't understand where you're kind of, it sounds very similar to a lot of those companies. What's the real kind of technical differentiator that you can hang your hat on besides you're early to market?
So first of all, I have to say that right now, the crypto economy has no banking solution. So just by offering the worst bank account you can imagine, we are better than nothing. Secondly, we are a banking service targeted exactly at the crypto economy. TransferWise is not doing this. TransferWise's model is is international money transfer, and the back end is a peer-to-peer banking system, right? Their idea is if someone in the US wants to send money to Europe, and then someone on the other side, they can match them up and it can happen without a SWIFT transfer. Our model is based on cryptocurrencies, and this means that it can scale without the need for liquidity. And that's a proprietary technological and legal solution, which I can't talk about too much.
So I just wanted to say, so this is definitely not my area, I'm a biotech guy, but I like what you're doing with cryptocurrency. I think it's actually, the banking solution is a huge problem. I have friends that work in the cryptocurrency space. I wanted to ask kind of two interrelated questions. So one, obviously there's been a kind of a spectrum of new currencies that have kind of blown up in the marketplace right now in terms of positive, like Ethereum and things like that. Are you planning on banking those types of alternative currencies as well?
Yep, so right now we support 40 cryptocurrencies.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you have that. Secondly, I mean, you guys seem like a very clear case for a potential ICO, because it's obviously, you know, you're bang on the area of interest for many of the kind of Bitcoin millionaires and now the Ethereum millionaires. Is this something you've thought of already, or?
We've thought about it.
Okay, okay. And I just wanted to congratulate you, by the way. Banking is very needed in the crypto space. And so, you know, later on, I could probably connect you with some of my friends that do crypto stuff.
Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. Thanks.
So one of the things that's super hard about fintech companies has been cost of acquisition, right? You know, often going into the thousands of dollars in order to get customers. So I get that, you know, you're early to market. There's some buzz, like you're able to get kind of a foothold in the initial market. But how do you think you scale this over time?
That's a very good question. So we're thinking about our first 1,000 users now. We have 30,000 B2C users, and about 10% of them are B2B users. So first of all, we're going to look in our existing user base. Secondly, we're going to look in our network. So the crypto space is still very, very small, so everyone knows everyone. And we think it's going to be relatively easy to find 1,000 customers. As for scaling, everything is going to be digital. Right now, communication is digital, right? You have web pages and emails. And
Oi! Ladies and gentlemen, Ben Jones. Well done, Ben. Judges, would you like to perhaps show us your cards? Give us any, just an indication of your initial thinking. Of course, this is not the final thinking, because you'll be going into the judge's secret chamber to make a judgment, but this just gives the audience something whilst Ben goes off and has an Alam Doodler at backstage. Well, not bad. Okay, so, Daniel?
Ralph, I have a very relaxed contestant with me who has just had his small little internet device out here to take pictures of you, which is quite a good sign. He's from a company called Appinio. His name is Jonathan Kurfus. Jonathan. Cheers. There you go. Wait. And what he does, or at least he claims he does, is he says he has the fastest market research solution in the world. In that sense, let's bring you to Ralph. So,
Jonathan, welcome to the stage and welcome to the finals. You made it out of many thousands. Well done.
Thank you.
Sounds like you've got some good fans in the audience. Jonathan, where are you from?
From Hamburg, Germany.
Hamburg. Hamburg, any fans of Hamburg?
Good man. Now, Ralph, he's in your good hands.
Okay, very good.
Jonathan, your slides, you see the time.
Okay.
And now it's just over to you, my friend.
So, Jonathan, let's see what a hamburger can do here live on the stage at the Pioneers Finals to find the Pioneer of the Year. You've got 3 minutes, starting from when you hear the whistle, and the whistle is going.
All right, thanks, Rev. Hi, everyone. My name is Jonathan. I'm the CEO and founder of Appinio. And at Appinio, we do real-time market research via mobile app. We enable companies to get thousands of answers from their specific consumer group within minutes and 90% cheaper than traditional market research. So far, we've been quite successful doing so with over 180 paying clients across all segments, such as McKinsey, Warner Brothers, or Edeka. We've won various industry awards, and every single day, we're collecting over 500,000 answers through our mobile app. So, why is Appinio relevant? Today, companies depend on market research more heavily than ever before. to react to market trends, to understand their consumers, and to improve their products. But traditional market research is not able to meet those needs. I experienced it myself working at a big CPG company. It's slow, it's expensive, and as you all know, market research sucks. Nobody wants to take part in market research, especially not millennials who are most relevant for the industry. So here's what we did. We developed a platform that automates the whole market research process end-to-end, providing companies with an all-in-one solution. And this is how it works. Let's take Jägermeister, for example. They want to know what their consumers think about their latest product. So they go on our platform, select their target group, create the survey. The survey gets immediately pushed out to that specific target audience. The audience answers immediately on the go via mobile app, and then Jägermeister is able to track and analyze the results in real time while the survey is running. And by real time, I mean over 1,000 answered surveys within 10 minutes. So now you're probably asking yourself, how do we incentivize our users to take part in market research? Well, our app is more than just answering surveys. It's a community platform. It's an opinion platform. So users are able to compare their opinions, they can create polls themselves, we gamified the app, and they can donate to charity. And if you look at our KPIs, and I'm just going to pick one of them, every user answers 1,100 questions in average. So what have we accomplished? We're the fastest market research solution. We are much, much cheaper than traditional market research, and we have a very accurate targeting and provide millennial access to the corporates. So we've basically solved all challenges of the market research industry, plus we went mobile and democratized the industry by making it affordable for everyone. Now we want this to be a global phenomenon. We're raising 1 million to roll out our app globally and to build up B2B traction in the US. Thank you very much.
Right on time. Well done. Jonathan Kurfes from Hamburg. Well done. We leave it over to the judges. Your 3 minutes is starting now.
All right, so first question. Congratulations on all the awesome brands and companies you've worked with and counted as customers. Can you talk a little bit about all those different customers and how much repeat usage are you seeing, and what's the churn rate kind of month to month? Is this something that you're seeing the teams using every month and you're seeing kind of SaaS-like super low churn, or is this a pretty infrequent use case?
So 60% of our customers are recurring customers, meaning they did more than one project. We started off with a project-based business because that was the easiest way to get a foot into the door. Now we're shifting all of our biggest accounts into basically a SaaS model. So they have retainer contracts, kind of like a flat rate that they use to get in contact with certain target groups. But we have two revenue models basically. One is project-based and one is a retainer contract SaaS-based model. Yeah. And maybe to add on that, as we're trying to democratize market research, the small and medium-sized business are using the project-based model, and the big accounts are using the SaaS model.
Yeah, I also would be worried about churn, but more on the user side. Can you tell us a little bit more about the churn and the retention of the people that actually answering those surveys? For me, honestly, surveys itself is such an old-fashioned thing. Wouldn't there be new ways, more engaging ways to interact and get opinions other than these surveys?
It's true, but we believe that everyone likes to share their opinion. And if you look at people, that's just how humans are. They share their opinion no matter if they're being asked for it or if you want to hear it. It's human nature. And it's very ironic that in market research, it's not the case. But that's how social networks work, basically. So we combined the two. We built a social network around opinions, and we monetize that community through market research surveys. But we're not depending on market research surveys because the people are creating the content themselves. So it's really a highly engaged community of millennials. And
you have retention numbers?
And retention numbers 50% since we started paid marketing. We grew to 80K users, mainly only organically, without paying without having any marketing expenses. And now that we started paid marketing, obviously the retention rate is going a little bit down. but we're now integrating a follower feature and building up more social components in order to really become a social network for opinions.
What's your annual contract value?
Our annual contract value?
Roughly, on average?
Oh, as I said, we do project-based, and we're just starting to do, shift our biggest clients into contracts.
I know. Give me numbers.
So we just closed, for example, a 6-month contract with a big company, and that's worth 25K.
That's my worry. So the kind of 5-figure is, 6 months or so.
So a year would be 50K.
Yeah.
So
you think it's a 5-figure sort of annual contract value, and is that for the biggest customer?
No, could I just pitch into that? No, that's just one of the contracts we just closed, and it could go up. It could go up to 5K. We're just shifting those, and most of them are like test contracts, so they're testing our SaaS model, and that's usually on a 6-month basis. But it's still enough for us because we have a contribution margin of 96% since we have an intrinsically motivated panel, and we don't pay out any cash to our users. It's all gamified. It's all platform based. So we can offer market research that cheap, and that's the revolution about Appinio. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. Jonathan Kurfes. Thank you, Jonathan. Well done. From Appinio.
Thanks, Rev. Thanks.
Go to Daniel. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, judges, if you want to just show your cards, give the audience some indication of your thinking. It's not your final thinking, because your final thinking will be in the secret chamber where you'll be going off with those 20,000 bottles of beer to make the final decision so that you can have a well-informed decision. There we are. There's give you some kind of idea. So, do you think this is fun? Yeah, it is. Da ist ja wahnsinnig. Da ist ja wahnsinnig. So, Daniel.
Ralph, I'm over here. I have startup number 6 from a company
Startup
called...
number 6.
Yes, from a company called Hololight. So I have an assumption what they could be doing. So, my friend.
Daniel, just before you begin, you give him the mic and give him the clicker.
Yes.
But we should let the audience know that this is not only being seen in Vienna, but we are going online all over the world. So our global audience watching these companies, very, very important to know that this is the way that these companies can get incredible visibility of their ideas, their originality, their entrepreneurialism all over the world. So Daniel, why don't we bring on number 6?
And that's exactly what we're going to do. Louis, his name is Louis Bollinger, and what he does is he has a business software solution using mixed reality. Now, I have no idea what mixed reality is, but hopefully you'll find it out. Louis, right that way. And meet Ralph. Hey.
Hello, Louis. Willkommen. Louis, where are you from?
Nice to meet you. I'm from Munich.
From Munich?
Munich, Germany, yes.
Okay, so not far from Vienna, and you came here especially, and your company is called Hololight, GmbH?
Yes, the Hololight is fine.
Very good. So, well, congratulations on making it to the finals. Daniel, did you give him some
I did give him
advice?
some advice. I told him he should enjoy himself, which he will, which is easy with this kind of an audience. Last advice, your slides, your timer, you have all you need. He's in your good hands. And audience, support him.
Okay, so Luis, here you are at Pioneers. You've got 3 minutes to tell us what you do, how you do it. Are you ready? 3 minutes, starting from when you hear the whistle, and the whistle goes.
Well, thanks for the introduction, and hello. I would like to start by explaining you how we were able to solve a specific problem in industry using mixed reality. Now, constructing engineers in industry, they work with computer-aided designs, and they are the database of manufacturing and also an integral part of our industry. 3D CAD models are the pre-stage of your future products. So let me explain you how engineers work nowadays. They create simple and also complex 3D models. And here is where we have 2 problems. They do this on 2D screens. So a 3D model on a 2D screen. And second, in order to get a prototype, they use a 3D printer. A 3D printer which takes probably 1 day and is very expensive. So what if there would be a solution who could help our constructing engineer? There's a technology which can help, mixed reality. It combines our real world with virtual objects. We interact in a 3D world. And as you can see, there are many application areas where we can use it. We can use it in manufacturing, in maintenance, and many other things. But also, the things you can see here are only demos, which means there are a lot of companies out there offering solutions which look like demos, marketing stuff, but we can't use them in the industry. It's not possible. And that's why we focused on a real solution, a product called HoloView. And HoloView is a CAD visualization and communication tool. You just drag and drop your CAD files, all relevant file formats that are typically used in the industry, per drag and drop into your PC application. They will be uploaded, and there you go. A 3D model, you can share your experience with others, you get a better feeling for design, and you can make better and faster decisions on new designs. But HoloView is one part of our whole mixed reality toolkit. We have a lot of other use cases in pipeline, quality control, maintenance, training, and we will focus more in the future on these devices. We want to scale up. And we started with a team of 4 people, and now we are 25. We have skills in software development, in UX designers. We have, of course, marketing sales guys. So we are a really young but experienced team. We are looking for customers, and we are also looking for partners, and as well as investors. So in case that you can help us to scale up and make our vision, which means simplifying life by merging the real with the digital, if you can make it happen, please contact us.
Thank you, Luis. Well done.
Thanks.
The judges, our 6 judges, our 6 great judges, it's over to you now. Your 3 minutes of questions begins now.
Hi, good pitch, thank you. So there's a lot of excitement around mixed reality, but are people actually asking for it now? Is that really a pain for them that they don't have it? Which I think has important consequences for your sales cycle.
Yes, a nice question. Yeah, we talk to a lot of automotive companies. Like I don't know whether you saw the last slide.
Can you tell?
Basically the big ones, and they ask for how can we use it. We saw demos, and of course you have to start with a pilot. It's always the same, but HoloLens, for example, is good enough. It's a device you can already use, and we offer a solution that can really improve something. And if you have a solution now, why not using it?
Cool. So I've looked at a bunch of stuff in VR. Love the B2B angle into VR. That feels like the kind of closest thing in the market that's going to work. So I like the flavor of this. My question is, CAD and this whole area, it's one of the few areas where you have this incumbent Autodesk that can kind of easily see this as a sustaining innovation. And if they were to decide to get into the space, talk to us about how being a little bit earlier in the market gives you a big enough of advantage, or how do you turn that early to market tactic into something where you can successfully defend against the incumbents?
Yeah, we were here at Pioneers last year, and HoloLens was launched beginning of April. So we were basically one of the first guys in Europe having a HoloLens, and it was for us a great opportunity to get in touch with people, to start already with pilots, to get experience. And now we have several use cases, and it's also the tech behind everything that gives us a big advantage.
What advantage, though?
What do you mean?
Talk in detail about, okay. Can you speak in detail about how being early helps you fend off an incumbent? I get that there are some advantages, but give us another layer of detail on that.
Yeah. HoloLens has basically the problem that it's a standalone device and limited in terms of power. So you have to really kick everything out of the device. And we wrote converters, we wrote importers, especially for HoloView, which it takes really time. It's about the details, and it's a limited number of polygons that you can visualize. And that's really a challenge and not easy.
So maybe one comment and one question. comment. Probably the one area where you could really make money is porn. Not your business. But on the customer side, what I want to understand is are these use cases for production and design, or those for marketing? I would guess they're more for marketing at the moment.
Not really. I will tell you one thing. We have a quality control case where nowadays you have PowerPoint and a pen. You go around the car, check 200 parts of a car, takes 8 minutes. And we did a finished pilot. And here you have information with mixed reality showing you where to look. You just make a click in case it's fine. And in case it's not fine, you make a photo. Everything in a report. You're faster. And this is a pilot that's worked.
Thank you. Thank you, Luis.
Thanks.
Well done. Number 6, Luis Bollinger from Hololight GmbH. So we'll just look at our judges, going from your right to the left, Jack Kreindler, Reshma, Ela, Ryan, Oliver, and Andy. Show us some numbers, give us a sense of your take. I don't know whether the audience also agrees with this, but maybe this will be different when they're in the final judging session. So, you're having fun, ladies and gentlemen. You're getting to see something that's interesting. You're building up the excitement just before we go to number 7. This is exciting. Just imagine what it must be like if you're one of these people that are putting forth their company. It's quite nerve-wracking. It's quite difficult to do this, but a lot will ride on this, because when they get to Silicon Valley and get to meet, I thought there was a slide up there, but they get to meet these key people and be on CNBC, that'll be very, very important. Daniel, who do we have next?
Ralph, first of all, I give you the microphone. I hope you didn't listen, because it's not nerve-wracking, it's not exciting, it's a very relaxing experience. This is Ignacy Capella. He's from a company called Broomx Technologies, and what he does is virtual reality experiences in real-world environments. Are you well?
Thank you. Yeah, very good introduction.
Good man. So what do you think of this? Looks good, huh?
Looks impressive, actually.
Let's find out what you do. Join me along. Audience, say hi to him. Thank you very much. So, Ralph, I bring you Ignacy.
Ignacy Capella.
That's right. Ignacy Capella in one piece. Take good care of him. Before I hand him over to you, Ignacy, those are your slides.
Okay.
You can see the timer. And now, Ralph, handle with care.
Did you give him some special startup instructions backstage?
Oh, so look at him. He's really relaxed.
Put his clothes on?
No. That's not my job. That's, I hope, your mother's girlfriend's wives or whatever job. Maybe you can do it yourself. But other than that, your 3 minutes of fame about to start with Ralph.
Ignacy, just before we begin, your company is called?
Broomx.
Broomx Technologies.
Broomx, and it comes from Best Room Experience.
Best Room Experience Technologies. Broomx Technologies. Ignacy Capella, your 3 minutes is about to begin when you hear the whistle going now.
Can you imagine being in one of those Virgin Galactic spaceship traveling through outer space? Can you imagine flying over New York City, Vienna, or the African Serengeti? Can you imagine being in a live concert of your favorite music group happening in another side of the world, with the artist surrounding you at the stage and the audience screaming your name? Now, imagine all this and much more without leaving your room. Hi, I'm Ignacy Capella, responsible for communication and business development at Barcelona startup Broomx.
Number 8.
Virtual reality is an amazing development that allows you to travel to different worlds, live amazing virtual adventures, or help different industries, from health to travel or education, with many different purposes. It is already a $7 billion market with excellent future projections. But there are some problems that need to be solved. One of them, user experience. We, as a VR passionates, we have gone one step beyond to transform virtual reality in a social thing. That's why we have created MKPlayer 360, a unique immersive projection system and a content delivery platform, Broomx VR, to enjoy virtual reality, 360 videos, and interactive games in a much more natural and social way, with anything in your face. With our system, we can create amazing 4D experiences in any room or corner, with projections covering your entire field of vision while you are in the room. So now, VR can be enjoyed socially, with family, friends, or alone. But content is king. That's why we have opened our platform, and we are building relations, we are partnering with some of the top VR companies and independent creators, as we want to convert Broomx VR, the reference for this new market of VR projectors. Business model is based on hardware and software, with monthly fee subscriptions to access to the content. This is part of the team. We have different skilled people with many different backgrounds, all related to the project. And now that we have finalized our prototype phase, we have signed contracts with international hotel chains, our first customers, and we have CE certifications and IPs. We are raising a Series A to scale up production, empower the platform, and do marketing, commercial, and distribution. Thank you. Just in time.
Gracias, Ignacio.
Gracias.
You're from Spain, no?
Yes.
Español.
Barcelona. Cataluña, we say.
Catalonia, ¿qué tal?
Muy bien.
¿Qué onda? Okay, it's over to the judges. Time for you to ask Ignacy Capella from Broomx Technologies. Your 3 minutes of questions starting now.
Great to meet you. Not my space, but I just wanted to kind of ask, it's a 360 experience just from the projector that I saw. How is it 360?
It's a 360 content in a 200-degree projection. 200 per 120. So when you're sitting in a room, all your entire field of vision is covered with image. Not your back, but all the rest, with 360 content. Any content for VR headsets is apt to be displayed in the system.
And how's it 4D?
4D, because we integrate different electric objects on the room, lighting, curtains, RGB illumination, even some smell kind of things. We can integrate anything to do this 4D or 5D or 7D if you want. For example, movement bed. We have a bed that moves, and we synchronize the movement of the bed, for example, with a waves that you are surfing in the projections, right? This is 4D.
Just to understand, what are you selling? It's the device and what? And to the hotels, are they buying these devices from you, and are they hoping to sell them as experiences to guests? I guess, and how much all that costs?
Okay, we are selling today the device and also subscriptions to the platform. How much? Good question. Today, it's quite costly. 15,000 euros. Today, we have a small production capacity, but we are raising money to scale up. And when we are able to produce a big bunch of units, the price reduces half of that. Then, monthly subscriptions. We are very focused on the content and the software side. So, hotels pay to have access to all this content, premium services, etc., at a monthly fee subscription of 99 euros per month.
So I hate to say it, but moving beds, hotels, VR, social, we're back to porn, yeah.
There are many other applications. Porn is there. Actually, porn has driven a lot of innovation, let's say it. Thank you. There are a lot of passionates about it, I can see. But there are many other applications. Health, for example. VR is used for many health purposes, to treat anxieties, to treat phobias, to train doctors. There are another applications, retail, for example. Imagine customize your house or your car virtually before buying it, right?
Yeah.
So
just wanted to congratulate. I think it's actually a really interesting product. So, and I think I've read about it somewhere in a science fiction story. So, some of you out there may know which one. I've forgotten which one off the top of my head.
Let me tell you, sometimes dreams come true.
Okay, that's great.
Bravo, bravo. Congratulations, well done.
Thank you.
Seemed like got a good reaction. And so, judges, as he's walking off, give us some indication of what you thought by showing us a guide, not the final decision, a guide as to what this might be. While we are just getting set up, lift it up. There we are. Just some kind of idea. Maybe you in the audience have got a different idea. And we'll do just before we close up with our final of the 8 contestants. We'll just run through the list of the different people that you've seen so you can refresh your memory. And those of you online that are watching all over the world can also see the names of the people who presented today. So this, Daniel, what number are we now? This is our last number.
We're here at number 8. I'll give you the microphone. This gentleman is from a company called Stromkind. His name is Andreas Desch, and what they do is a fully autonomous drone platform. And I assume this is the thing behind you, Ralph.
Daniel, where's Andreas from?
Andreas, where are you from?
From Upper Austria.
Upper Austria, local hero again. Join me right this way.
Very good, from Austria.
And I have to admit, meet Ralph,
welcome.
I have to admit, looking at this thing, it looks pretty cool.
Oh, you brought this with you? Oh my
Yes.
God, what is that? Well, you can tell the people in your presentation.
Exactly.
But, Andreas Desch, your company is called Stromkind.
Yes.
That's the correct pronunciation?
Yes.
Stromkind. And it's a maritime swarm sensing drone, which you'll need to explain to the audience. And each of our very, very esteemed judges sitting there making very careful notes. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please remember 3 minutes? Andreas, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. 3 minutes starting from when you hear the whistle, and the whistle goes now.
Okay, thank you. So my name is Andreas. I'm the founder and CEO of Stromkind. We're producing maritime drones. Our product is a platform, fully electrical, fully autonomous, open platform for any kind of sensors. There are a lot of applications, what you can do with this. So we created a solar module where you can do 24/7, 365 data harvesting. You can do with the pump system autonomous firefighting, or you can do with the cargo system autonomous cargos, coast to coast, island to island, fully autonomous with no man in the loop. We're also working right now on a project for algae removal. So summer is coming, algae are coming, and we have a swarm capability integrated to do this with quite a lot of these small things to get rid of the algae. We realized that this is not doable with the existing propulsion systems, so we created from scratch our own propulsion system. So this propulsion system has integrated cooling. The propulsion system is very efficient, and the propulsion system is non-clocking. The main features of our product, so to say, is the modularity, the self-meshing, self-calibrating data link system, and our economy-friendly, environmental-friendly propulsion system. The team is a very skilled team, second-time founders. We already have a heavy background in the UAV industry. We successfully launched the world market leader VTOL system. And coming from the one and only Austrian company. And what we are so far, we have successfully demonstrated our capability on maritime platform, showing side scan sonar capabilities. We have gained a 6-digit revenue. We have lots of requests since our last show in UAE, over more than 500 drone systems. And we have right now offers out for more than $1 million for each customer. So what we need is to scale our model up for higher sea states. We need to boost our sales, and additionally, we need to ramp up our production. If you have any questions, visit our booth or just send me an email. Thank you.
Thank you, Andreas. Interesting. Now it's up to the judges to ask you some penetrating questions about what you've just presented and spoken about. So judges, 3 minutes, starting from now.
Hi, well done. That's an impressive product and impressive presentation. When you say fully autonomous, is there a sort of autonomous part of the operation and then the teleoperated part? How can you elaborate on that?
No, so the problem is on the UAV systems, like on the aviation side, you always have to have a pilot. This don't reduce your costs, you have still the operational costs there. So we make it fully autonomous. We have no ground control station, so you pre-program your waypoints, and this makes a fully autonomous mission. But once, for example, you get an alert, you can react and get over the high-speed data link some video data, or you can do interaction. And that's what the others are not doing. They're just monitoring, very passive, and recording, and we go active into these problems.
And what about like the signal strength and like problems that can stem from that, if you, like reception?
The data rates, you mean? We have 14 megabits of data, real-time video with a latency of 20 milliseconds.
And I have one question, like how does it do with waves? How big can the waves be?
This one is for shallow water. We're working on a 3-meter version, which can do a sea state 2, and the big version is 12-meter, which can handle up to sea state 4.
Vehicle. I think I might have noticed a spelling mistake. Vehicle. I think you haven't spelt it right. But anyway, it doesn't matter, it's good.
I love it, it looks brilliant. My question was, in terms of like, let's say, using it to get to remote islands, to deliver medicines, for instance, in terms of international waters, fair enough, but what about this in terms of, you know, an autonomous vehicle in, you know, in monitored waters with military concerns, etc. I mean, it seems as if this could pose a really, really serious risk.
Yeah, we have integrated a collision avoidance system. It's an optical sensor to get rid of any problems with crashing into something. We have also radar on it. We have IES on it, sensors. So this is fully autonomous, controlling itself through the maritime areas.
Just one question as I pass along. Why are you raising so little money? Given your pipeline and your sales to date, it feels like you should raise double that money at least.
Yeah, the thing is we don't want to give away too much right now from our company. So we need a lot of company. Make the price high, good.
Make the price high, that's the way to go. Okay, so can you talk about, you know, I would think that if you break down most of the use of boats, that it's about moving people around, it's about moving cargo around. So I was surprised to see that your you know, first set of use cases was focused on algae removal, and obviously, you know, also the form factor of your drone. And so, can you talk about just breaking down the overall like ship market and how you picked your entry point into the market initially?
Yeah.
Finish the question. Answer the question.
Okay. The thing is, wherever labor is not an issue, the labor costs are not an issue, there's not so much chance to get into this market of cargo, for example. But if you have labor costs pretty high, so in the Scandinavian world, for example, a lot of small islands where you have to carry overnight because all the ships are on anchor overnight, and you have a good ability to make overnight delivery to coasts or to islands. And you don't need necessarily infrastructure, so you don't need a harbor, because on our cargo platform there's a crane that lifts and lifts other things back again on the ship.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Andreas. Thank you, Andreas.